Alright, who's good potato? Spin Leak here with a movie review. Been a while since I've done one of these. Usually whenever I do them, I go on a tangent that I don't fucking like. And I end up scrapping the entire thing, thinking I'll redo it, and then completely forgetting how I felt about it. Then I need to rewatch it, so it becomes this whole big ordeal. Hopefully I can get this out in one go and just enjoy it. So I'm going to be talking about the new Grudge. Now, I'll be honest. I didn't expect a lot from this movie. I expected it to be a fully Americanized version of The Grudge, and for the most part, I was right. There weren't very many Japanese influences, aside from nods to the original films, which are behind me, and the manga, which I fucking loved, such as the finger chopping scene, great stuff. There's a lot of Easter eggs throughout the film. And, trained eye, you'll see most of them, but last night I uploaded one of my random rant videos about use of space in horror films, how the backdrop isn't used enough, how there's a lot of potential missed. This movie captures that. They always, well, scratch that. For the most part, at key moments, they always have something going on in the background. Something that you may not pick up on initially, something that is not going to be the focus, but it is in the central point of the camera. It is out in the open for everyone to see. And it seems fairly normal. But then you come to the realization of, holy shit, that's spooky, that's the ghost peoples, that sort of shit. So they properly use the background in a way that I'm comfortable with. But they ruined some of the Grudge aesthetic in a lot of ways. Now, let me get the fanboy bitching out of the way, and then I will properly talk about this film. Because a lot of people look at this as like, oh, it's a horror movie. Listen, for me, The Grudge is Star Wars or Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter. Okay, that's my nerd out deal. That's what I do. That's what I love. That's what I'm passionate about. So as far as the feel of the Grudge franchise as a whole, this movie is far too aggressive. It tries a little bit too hard to get shock factor. Now, the Grudge films and manga in general are visceral, but they aren't agitated. They're a little bit more elegant and a little bit more sluggish. There's a certain flair to it. There's a specific scene in the new Grudge movie where there is an Asian realtor hiding in a closet. I'm not going to give too much detail about the characters or anything going on at that point in the movie, but the camera angle is from his left side, and then it is straight on him peeking out of the closet, so you only see about this much of his face. So, door, and there's a little bit of darkness behind him. And from the side, everything is pitch black. So, when I watch a Grudge movie, what I anticipate happening is going to be that once it seems that he's in the clear, once it gets that frontal frame, you're going to see a hand slowly creep up, oddly move, like it's growing out of his back, reach around at an awkward angle, and either pull him out of frame or latch onto him. There will be a stopped scream, and that will be the scene. But this one was more of a flanked spectral attack, something that you would see out of The Conjuring. Just kind of a little bit more rushed, forceful, look at me, hey everybody, spooky ghost here, I got shit dripping out of my bloody mouth, whatever. There's a lot of details that are lost whenever you attack it with that kind of dynamic. There are certain ways to use the camera, there are certain ways to use the things around the room in any specific scene that can influence your audience. There were plenty of scenes in the original Ju-on films where you just saw a certain color combination off in the background, and it sent chills up your spine. You just see black shorts hanging over a big white t-shirt, and you're like, holy fuck, what the fuck is going on? Oh my god. Yeah. Okay, the original films made a basketball scary. Let's see them do that. Go for that shit. I'll believe it when I see it. This didn't really give me the Grudge feel. Not by a long shot. It was a little bit out there. There was a lot of wasted potential, but that's my feeling as a longtime fan. I mean, and I do appreciate a lot of the nods in the movie. There were even references in the opening dialogue to Yoko and Alex, two characters from the first movie. You know, you have your protagonist and you have the close secondary character. There were a lot of parallels drawn there. There were specific gags used from other films, actions, the whole peekaboo thing, which I fucking loved. I busted out laughing. Uh, but there were also parallels that were missed that really kind of left me just a bit disappointed. But as a standalone film, it's a fantastic horror film. It's got just about everything you could look for. It's got the scares. It has decent pacing for a modern film, for an Americanized film. And I think that you can justify it as a part of the Grudge franchise, even though it's not specifically canon. You can justify it as part of the Grudge franchise as the American Grudge would act differently. There would be more hostility. There would be more flair. There would be more searching for attention, as opposed to a more reserved, entity from the original. But I mean, everything's there. It was a fantastic film. That alone gives it 4 potatoes. There wasn't really a dull moment in the film. I believe audiences would definitely enjoy it. In fact, I think they have. I haven't checked the reviews for this film. But as far as the scare factor, yeah, that's definitely there. The pacing of the film, definitely there. The acting doesn't really factor in to a horror film. Not too heavily if it's a good one. The lighting, which you have to take into account with a lot of horror films, especially supernatural ones, it wasn't completely blacked out. You could see what was going on. The distortion of the background and a mixture of some lighting to a little bit of pitch black did help out with the effects just a bit. It gave it a little bit more of a lively contrast that lets you go from feeling safe to let you know you're fucked. It hit just enough to surprise the viewer. So yeah, no, it is a well-rounded film, just not in my eyes a proper Grudge movie. It's what I feared America would do to the Grudge, but it's done in a very flattering way. So yeah, no, I'll leave it with a positive rating. 4 potatoes. Have you seen this film? What are your thoughts on it? Like, comment, subscribe, keep on keeping on, and I am going to sit my ass in a chair, play Raid Shadow Legends, and drink lukewarm coffee that is way too heavily sugared until it gives me a fucking headache, and all I want is a cold glass of water. Later!